What's up, Patriots Nation? The energy is building, the excitement is real, and all eyes are already locked on the next battle ahead. This isn't just another game, and it's another chance for our Patriots to prove that every adjustment, every reinforcement, and every drop of hard work is pushing this team toward greatness. You can feel it in the air. The hunger, the fight, the will to dominate. The path back to the top is never easy, but that's exactly what makes it legendary. And we're here together, living every moment, every play, every heartbeat with this team we love. So hit that like button right now, because today we're diving deep into what's coming next for the New England Patriots. And trust me, you won't want to miss a second of it. Go Pats! It has only been a couple of days since the Patriots went toe-to-toe with the Miami Dolphins and came out on top. And yet the more we look back, the clearer it becomes that this wasn't just another early season win, it was a statement. When you rewind the tape, dive into the advanced numbers, and feel the energy of how this game unfolded, you start to realize just how much is shifting in Foxborough. This isn't just a win in the standings, it's the kind of performance that can set the tone for an entire season, the kind of game that makes you sit up and think, wait, are we watching the rise of something special? The night had everything. A punt return that almost broke fans' hearts, followed immediately by Antonio Gibson flipping the script with a kickoff return touchdown that set Gillette Nation on fire. Those were the kinds of moments that earned this team the nickname Cardiac Pats. The highs and lows were enough to give fans an aneurysm, but that's exactly what makes it thrilling to watch. You could feel the energy pulsing through every play, the sense that this group is fighting to carve out an identity, and slowly but surely, they are finding it.
And where does that identity start? With the offensive line. For months leading up to this season, all anyone wanted to talk about was whether the line would hold up. Could they protect a young quarterback like Jerod Mayo and give him the time he needs? After watching the Dolphins game, the answer was loud and clear. This offensive line looks elite. Will Campbell earned an 81.3 pass blocking grade. Jarrod Wilson posted an incredible 88.1. Garrett Bradbury continued what some are calling an insanity run. And Michael Onwenu came through at 82.8. Even though Morgan Moses had a rough outing, 4 out of 5 linemen were lights out, and that's a ratio any quarterback in the league would take. Campbell, in particular, has been nothing short of sensational. People doubted him after joint practices, questioned whether he could truly handle the NFL stage. But against Miami, he didn't allow a single pressure in 31 pass blocking snaps. 0. Goose egg. For a rookie tackle, that is jaw-dropping. The result of that protection? The best game Jerod Mayo has played in a Patriots uniform. He completed 82.6% of his passes, threw for 230 yards, connected on 2 beautiful touchdown passes, including a strike to Keyshawn Bout and a perfectly timed play to Mac Hollins, and even ran one in himself. His passer rating, a near-flawless 137.3. The advanced metrics tell the story even more impressively. He got the ball out in 2.57 seconds on average, kept his aggressiveness rate at 17.4%, and most importantly, outperformed his expected completion percentage by a wide margin. Next-gen stats projected him at 69.2% completions. He hit 82.6. That means he wasn't just playing within the system, he was elevating it. He was beating the odds, making throws that weren't supposed to be completed, and nailing them. And when you stack him up against the league's best, the conversation gets fascinating. Charts measuring out-of-structure plays place him in the same quadrant as Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, names that sit right below Patrick Mahomes in the NFL hierarchy. Is it too early to crown Jerod Mayo as elite? Probably. But the eye test, the stats, and the sheer confidence he's starting to play with all point to a quarterback rapidly ascending. He's only in his second year. He hasn't even completed a full 17-game season, and yet he's already showing flashes of the kind of player who can carry a franchise. But this story isn't just about the offense. The defense deserves its flowers, too. Through 2 weeks, New England leads the NFL in sacks with 9. That's right, more than Green Bay, the Rams, the Saints, even the Falcons. Last year, it took them the majority of the season to sniff those numbers, but this year, they're already on pace to blow past their 2024 sack total. Harold Landry, once written off as washed, now leads the league in sacks. Milton Williams and Christian Barmore are tied for the league lead in pressures among interior linemen, each with 9. This front 5, Kayvon Chaisson, Barmore, Williams, Khyiris Tonga, and Landry, has become a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. What's even scarier is that this is happening before Christian Gonzalez is back in the secondary. Imagine when the coverage tightens up and those rushers have even more time to get home. That's when covered sacks start piling up, and that's when this defense can evolve from very good to elite. Of course, not everything is perfect. The linebackers have struggled, and Alex Austin has allowed far too many yards in coverage. Robert Spillane and Christian Ellis are currently among the NFL leaders in missed tackles, and that simply cannot continue if the Patriots want to compete with teams like the Steelers and beyond. But even with those issues, this defense feels swarming, aggressive, and relentless. Qualities fans were desperate to see return after last season's struggles. And then there's the human side of the story. Terrell Williams, the defensive coordinator, continues to battle health issues, which meant linebackers coach Zach Kerr had to call plays against Miami. Mike Vrabel confirmed Williams will still be involved, but it's Kerr's defense for now. The players responded well, and the results speak for themselves. But there's a clear sense that this unit is rallying not just around scheme and talent, but around one another. That kind of culture matters. It shows up in the fight they play with on Sundays. So here's the question for you. After watching Jerod Mayo shine, the offensive line dominate, and the defense terrorize opposing quarterbacks, do you believe this Patriots team has the pieces to be great this year? Do you think this was just a glimpse, or the beginning of something truly special in Foxborough? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear if you think the Patriots are on the verge of greatness, or if you're still waiting to be convinced. Because the deeper we dig into this win, the more it feels like the Patriots aren't just surviving games, they're learning how to dictate them. For years, fans have begged for that identity to return, the kind of gritty, relentless football that made opponents dread seeing New England on the schedule. Against Miami, it finally looked like that spirit was alive again. Not perfect, not polished, but raw, tough, and growing stronger by the week. And it leaves you wondering, what happens when this roster starts firing on all cylinders? Let's go back to Jerod Mayo, because his performance is too important to gloss over. Quarterbacks in New England are judged by a heavy standard, and Mayo knows that. Every throw, every read, every mistake, fans are watching to see if he's the guy. Against Miami, he didn't just check boxes, he lit them on fire. That touchdown to Bout wasn't just a nice throw, it was a window into his chemistry with young receivers, proof that these connections are building. The rushing touchdown wasn't just 6 points, it was a statement that he's fearless, willing to put his body on the line to move the chains. And the way he commanded the huddle, you could feel it. This wasn't a rookie anymore, this was a leader in the making. What's fascinating is how his progress feeds directly off that offensive line. Remember last season, when it felt like every dropback came with pressure in his face? The constant collapsing pockets, the rushed decisions, the stalled drives? Compare that to Sunday, where Campbell, Bradbury, Onwenu, and Wilson gave him a fortress. When your young quarterback feels secure, he plays free. And when he plays free, he takes those deep shots, trusts his arm, and turns tight windows into completions. That trust is contagious. It energizes the receivers, it fires up the sideline, and it builds belief across the entire locker room. And speaking of belief, let's not overlook the front five on defense. They aren't just putting up numbers, they're imposing fear. 9 sacks in 2 games isn't luck, it's dominance. Milton Williams and Christian Barmore wrecked the interior, forcing quarterbacks off their spot. Landry, cast aside by Tennessee, is suddenly looking like one of the biggest steals of the offseason. And when you combine that pressure with Chasen's burst and Tonga's size, you have a group that can collapse pockets from every angle. Think about that, 2 weeks in, and the Patriots already look like they have one of the league's most disruptive fronts. For years, fans begged for a return to trench dominance. It's here, and it's loud. Of course, the cracks are visible. Alex Austin's struggles in coverage are glaring, and the linebacker core feels like the weakest link right now. Missed tackles from Spillane and Ellis are a red flag, especially with physical opponents on the horizon. You can't gift extra downs to teams like Pittsburgh and expect to escape. That's the shadow hanging over this team, the question of whether the weaknesses will eventually catch up to the strengths. And yet, when you watch the tape, it's hard not to feel like this group has enough firepower to mask those issues until reinforcements, like Gonzalez, return. And that's where the hope lies, in what's still to come. Imagine Gonzalez locking down his side of the field, eliminating big plays, forcing quarterbacks to hesitate. Suddenly, those near misses by the pass rush turn into drive-killing sacks. Suddenly, the defense isn't just good, it's suffocating. That's why fans can't help but dream, because the foundation is already strong, and the missing pieces are close. Even in the coaching box, there's a storyline brewing. Terrell Williams fighting health battles is tough for the team, but the way Zach Kerr stepped up to call plays shows resilience. That's what the Patriots have always been about, next man up, whether it's a player on the field or a coach on the sideline. And the defense responded. That's not just strategy, that's culture. It's proof that this locker room is bought in, ready to fight for each other and for the logo on the helmet. So here we are, staring at a Patriots team that feels both familiar and new. The chaos of the cardiac Pats, the thrill of big plays, the grind of trench warfare, the rise of a young quarterback who's starting to look like he belongs in conversations with Allen and Jackson. This isn't the Patriots of the past, but but it might be the Patriots of the future. A team in transition, yes, but one that's suddenly a whole lot of fun to watch. And now the stage shifts to Pittsburgh, a defense led by TJ Watt is no joke. It's the kind of matchup that will test whether Maye's progress was a one-week surge or the beginning of a consistent climb. It will test whether the offensive line can hold up under relentless pressure. It will test whether the defense can contain a Steelers offense that, while not explosive, punishes mistakes. In short, it's the kind of game that tells you exactly where a team stands. So I'll leave you with this. Are the Patriots on the verge of surprising the league? Or is this just a temporary high before reality sets back in? Do you see Drake Maye evolving into the quarterback of the future? Or do you want to see more before you believe? And most importantly, do you think this defense, with all its promise and its flaws, can truly become elite? Let me know in the comments, because your voice as fans is what fuels this conversation. And if there's one thing that makes this moment so compelling, it's that sense of uncertainty mixed with excitement. Patriots fans have lived through eras of dominance, but what we're watching right now is different. It's raw, it's unpredictable, and it feels like every week could swing the narrative in a new direction. That's what makes it so gripping. You don't just watch these games, you live them, play by play, heartbeat by heartbeat. Drake Maye is still proving himself. The offensive line is carving out an identity, and the defense is clawing its way back into relevance. It's not perfect football, but it's the kind of football that makes you believe again. You can see the seeds of something bigger being planted with every snap. And when Gonzalez returns, when the linebackers tighten up, when the chemistry grows stronger, suddenly this team might not just be fighting for respect, but for something much larger. So the question hangs in the air, are we witnessing the rebirth of a contender in Foxborough? Or is this just the early sparks of a fire that still needs more time to catch? Tell me what you think. Are the Patriots truly back on the path to greatness, or are we still one step away from finding out?